Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting evening of high school football here at Joe Knowles Field. This is Dee Bowden coming to you live from the campus of South Kitsap High School. And joining me again in the booth tonight is Mr. D-Rod, David Rodriguez. David, thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me, DB, and it's a pleasure to be back in the booth here at Joe Knowles Field in Port Orchard for an exciting matchup tonight between two Kitsap powers, South Kitsap and Central Kitsap.
Should be another exciting game tonight. South Kitsap and Central Kitsap both off to an 0-2 start, but South Kitsap looking to get on the win side with a couple of tragic losses against two very good football teams. The first week losing 26-20 to the Kentwood Conquerors in overtime here at our own stadium, and last week they lost to the Lakes Lancers in the Tacoma Dome at one of the kickoff classics. They lost 32-31 as time expired. So South Kitsap is playing some pretty good football, but unfortunately they're not coming out on the winning end.
Well, South Kitsap has really been on the short end of a couple of long sticks here, and one overtime game and one last second game has really hurt us. And we are it's a team that's really looking to snap back, and Central Kitsap could be that team tonight. Both teams 0-2.
It's going to be a short kick as South Kitsap's going to field the ball at their own 20-yard line. There's a hole right straight up the middle. That's Corey Hawkins. He tries to stay on his feet, but he's taken down by number 13 for Central Kitsap at just past midfield. It was a short, stubby kick. Hawkins fielded the ball, had a huge hole right near midfield, and was able to get into Central Kitsap territory. So right off the bat, South Kitsap doing what they would like to do and getting good field position.
Wow. That's a play that can really ignite the South Kitsap offense, and they've got great field position, and we'll see what they can do.
Chip Pearson still taking the ball under snap at quarterback. They're set in an I formation, and they're going to hand the ball off. Fake it. Pearson rolls to his left. He's got his tie. The fullback, that's Corey Hawkins, who just barrels his head down and runs over the CK defender at the 20-yard line, put him down at the 19. A huge gain of almost 20 yards. And right off the bat, the Wolves are going to the short action pass play.
Well, I bid on the run right myself, and ended up rolling out with the boot on the left side, and completed this pass to the tight end, or for the fullback, for a nice gain.
South Kitsap with a 1st and 10 at the CK 19-yard line. Pearson is going to hand the ball off to, that is Stephen Tucker, and he doesn't get much. CK doing a good job stopping him right there. No big hole right there. Corey Hawkins, 2 big plays. The kickoff, he returned the ball back for about 35 yards. First play from scrimmage, a little pass, an action pass play. Pearson rolled to his left, and he hit Hawkins in the flat, but this time Tucker had no gain. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves as they send 2 wide receivers, a slot right to the near side of the field. That's Sean Staten into the game. Pearson is going to hand the ball off to Tucker again, sidesteps off to his left. Penalty flag comes flying in. Another penalty flag, 2 of them.
That looks like a late hit, DB.
We'll have to wait and see what the officials say, but Tucker got down to the CK 15. The officials are talking down there, and it's going to be a holding penalty against the Wolves. So instead of 2nd down at the 15, they're going to scoot the Wolves back another 10.
Well, the officials obviously saw something they didn't like. It's called a hold. They move him back a few yards, and we'll replay the down. 2nd and 19. The Wolves looking good so far on offense. You saw some flags in the first week. Hopefully they can avoid those here tonight. A tough loss for the Wolves last week at the Tacoma Dome against Lakes, a very talented football team from Lakewood and Tacoma. And the Wolves really licking their wounds at this point, but this is the first league game, and the Wolves looking good against 2 very good teams. Could have gone either way both games. Wolves could easily be undefeated at this point.
The Wolves have suffered a couple of injuries as well to a couple of key players. Corey Dame, number 13, Corey Dame is out with a shoulder injury and hopes to be back in a couple weeks. And Josh Burlingame and Mike Wittig also out with some injuries, and hope to get those young men back soon. So back the Wolves up. It's going to be 2nd and long. They're going to throw out to to Cedric Carter. Cedric Carter sidesteps, cuts back inside to the left. He's going to get about 5 yards back on that little out play. And it's going to be 3rd and 15 for the Wolves. So South Kitsap still deep in Central Kitsap territory with some time to do some damage.
Well, quick pass out to the right flat. Didn't really fool the CK defense too much. So still got a couple yards out of it. 3rd and long for the Wolves, 3rd and 16. We'll see if Chip Pearson here can get a pass off to one of his receivers. Usually in these long down situations or long yard situations and 3rd down, we look for a pass.
We'll have a little stoppage of play here, an official's timeout. The ball will be, South Kitsap will have the ball at the CK 25-yard line. Looked like an equipment check here real fast. And now the ball is put back into play. Just under 10 minutes here. South Kitsap with a 3rd and long. Pearson's going to drop back, roll out to his left. He's going to look down, and he's got a man in the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Cedric Carter, a 25-yard pass completion from Chip Pearson, and just like that, the Wolves are on the board.
Cedric Carter just got a little bit higher and jumped a little bit more, got his hands up and caught that ball right over the left corner there, and beautiful catch. Nice throw from Chip Pearson. Nice way to get on the board. 6 for South Kitsap.
Pearson took the snap, rolled to his left slightly. Carter was going down. Coverage was pretty good. Pearson threw a nice ball, and Carter jumped up and made the grab. And South Kitsap gets on the board early here with 9:29 left as Quincy Lyman is doing the kicking duties tonight for the Wolves. It's going to be a little kick, but didn't look like he kind of didn't get as much foot under it, but nonetheless the kick is good. So
still
just like that, the Wolves get on the board with a 25-yard touchdown pass from Chip Pearson to Cedric Carter.
That's exactly what the Wolves needed to get back on track here and establish themselves here in league play. 7-0 Wolves with 9:29 left in the first quarter. What do we see there that we like, DB?
2 of the key players on defense for South Kitsap will be the big defensive lineman, the freight train, Renard Williams, number 62, and number 7, Chad Tester, will be in at linebacker. Josh Burlingame, the inside linebacker for the Wolves, is out with an injury, and hopefully that young man will be able to come back within a few weeks. So we had some guys that got banged up at the Tacoma Dome last week against Lakes. But the Wolves are pretty tough, and we have a great athletic medicine crew here, and they're doing their best to keep those guys healthy and doing some rehab. So South Kitsap, though, early here, big rival between the two schools, and South gets on the board early as Lyman is going to do the kicking duties here. 2 deep at about the 10-yard line for the Cougars. They're going to field the ball at the 15-yard line, fielded by number 86. That's Sean McBride, the wide receiver, and he fielded the ball at the 15, and he got about 15 yards on the return. So Central Kitsap will have the ball at their own 30-yard line to start their first series of play.
Well, see what Central Kitsap can do here on offense. They got the ball at the 30, not incredible field position, but better than being at the 20 or behind there. So we'll see what they can get up here for our offensive sets. Right now it looks like they're lining up with just 2 wide receivers and 2 backs.
Matt Taugus is the quarterback for Central Kitsap. Pro set in the backfield. They're going to fake the pitch. Taugus is looking for a man. He's caught the ball at the 10. He's got a big opening. Gets out to the 40-yard line. Not until he's taken down by number 8. That's Joe Butterworth. John Sanchez was the man in the backfield who caught the ball in the left flat and gets a huge gain on the play. So just like that, the Cougars get a huge pass play and get the ball near midfield.
Well, the Cougars went overplay right side. Everybody went right. They threw left. 1 guy back. That's a nice tackle by Butterworth to save a touchdown.
Central Kitsap will have the ball at their own 47-yard line. Number 15, Brad Durham, and number 21, Caleb Brown, split to the far side of the field. A pro set, Durham goes motion to the near side. There's a little motion. Look, it could have been the defense drawn offside, but nope, it's going to be an illegal procedure penalty called against Central Kitsap. So in the backfield, number 25, Cameron Anthony, and that also was 14, John Sanchez. So Central Kitsap their first penalty of the night, will have a 1st and 15 from their own 42-yard line. A very slow game in terms of penalties, which is real good for both sides. CK having to hurry out of the huddle as they come in. They have a pro set in the back. Durham set in the slot, goes motion to the far side of the field. They're going to, the ball is pitched backwards, and it is recovered by CK. The quarterback, that was Taugus, and he looked to pitch the ball back to Sanchez, but Sanchez just took off to go block, and Taugus just pitched it, and there was nobody there, and luckily he was able to go get it and fall on it and recover.
Those little miscommunication items will come back to bite you. That's a waste of a down and a loss of yards for CK there. I'm sure Coach Keel isn't too happy with the miscommunication on the field there with his offensive unit.
So their first play from scrimmage is a huge gain, and since then they've had a penalty and a big loss. So Central Kitsap trying to get something going here. Number 84, Casey Knoll, split to the far side of the field.
21, Caleb Brown in motion.
The ball is pitched to Derek Smith, who tries to cut outside. A flag comes flying in from the far side of the field from the official, and that's usually in the area of holding or an illegal block in the back. Not much on the gain. There's only going to be about 2 or 3 yards on the gain, but I'm sure that looks like the penalty will be against Central Kitsap, and the Wolves will most likely decline, and it will be they'll just keep them far back where they are. So Central Kitsap, big play, but haven't been able to do anything since.
Should be about 2nd and 30 for CK if they decline the penalty, and that'll be a big chunk of yards, but get another opportunity to try to get those yards back. But the offense is backing up like they know it's against them. Probably a hold.
The officials finally break their little huddle near the 35-yard line, and they're waving off the flag. So that was an awfully long meeting to discuss and say that there was no penalty.
Interesting. Usually when the referees throw a flag on the field during a run play or any other play, there is a penalty. Interesting that they would throw it, and Coach Segerson seems to be unsatisfied with the explanation he's getting from one of the line judges.
Matt Andraken comes in and is split to the near side of the field. Number 12, Brian Johnson, split to the far side. Taugus is going to hand the ball. Oh, there's a big opening up on the right-hand side. Nice tackle on defense. So that's number 7, Chad Tester for the Wolves. Derek Smith got the call again, but nothing doing, and they didn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and long for Central Kitsap, and they'll send out their punting team.
Well, nice defense there by the Wolves. Gave up one big play, and then after that, locked down on Central Kitsap. Central Kitsap forced to punt here.
Chad Fowler and Sean Staten back to receive this kick. Central Kitsap, the ball will be kicked at about their own 35-yard line. It's going to go sailing near the right sideline. It's not going to be fielded. It will be down at the South Kitsap 25-yard line. So doing the punting duties was Glenn Huey, and Huey gets the ball down to the 25. So South Kitsap, a good defensive stop here, and with 6:24 remaining in the first quarter, South Kitsap leads CK 7-0.
We'll see how South Kitsap's offense operates from behind the 50 instead of in front of it. They had a big break with a nice kickoff return last time off a short CK kickoff, and we'll see how the offense operates with the full field to work with.
Cedric Carter and Sean Staten are in, split to the near side of the field. A shift on the D. There's a penalty flag. The ball's handed off to Tucker. He puts his head down, spins around a little bit, tries to get up the middle. Gain of about 4 yards on the play. We'll have to check the penalty, which is way back at the South Kitsap 18-yard line.
Normally an offsides call, probably on the South Kitsap offensive line. Put him back 5 yards, repeat the first down with 1st and 15.
So South Kitsap looks like they're going to push the ball back. And a penalty right off here of their second series. So all of a sudden we've been starting to see a few yellow flags being thrown here.
Well, neither coach could be happy about that. We're in the 3rd game of the season. We're hoping to get these little kinks ironed out, and I'm sure that they'll be discussing some of those flags at halftime.
So it will be 1st and 15 for the Wolves back at their own 22-yard line. South Kitsap starting their first offensive series after a big kickoff return by Corey Hawkins, starting a little bit deeper in their own territory as they have 2 wide receivers split to the far side in the I formation. Pearson, he's looking for a man, and he's got David Parker. Throws a little bit low near his feet. The pass is going to be incomplete, and it'll be second down, and just looked like the ball was just thrown just a tad bit too low.
Well, if Parker had caught that ball, who knows what he'd have done out there by himself in the flat. I'm sure that we'll see that connection again sometime later tonight, Carter and Pearson. Pearson seems to be getting along quite well with his receivers this season, and it's a nice role for him here at quarterback for the Wolves.
South Kitsap has some pretty good weapons out there at wide receiver, as Staten and Parker still in. Pearson is going to hand the ball off to Tucker, and he gets nowhere. He is met by number 55, Jeff Goffin, and Goffin just stuffs Tucker, and it's going to be a quick series, 3 and out for South Kitsap. Nice job by CK there on defense.
CK's linebacker, inside linebacker, really sniffed out that run play, and right before the ball was snapped, he was in there shooting the gap. I think he was in there before the offensive lineman had a chance to stand up and block, and that really shredded the run there for the Wolves.
Call that last play second down. This will be third down due to the penalty. They don't penalize the offense on the down, so this will be third down. Third and long, 3rd and 15 for the Wolves. Cedric Carter comes back in, set in the slot. Pearson's going to roll out to his right, look for someone. He's got a man, and he's got Cedric Carter, stays on his feet. Carter's dangerous when he gets the ball out there. Nice job near midfield. There is going to be a first down for South Kitsap. Nice throw by Pearson.
Pearson under pressure again from Central Kitsap, strong inside linebacker. We'll get his name and number in a second. Really putting pressure on the run and on the quarterback there. Pearson managing to get the pass over him and into the hands of Carter for a big gain, first down. That really dug South Kitsap out of that little hole.
South Kitsap has the ball at their own 47 and driving near midfield. Pearson under center, 2 wide receivers. He's going to hand the ball off to Chad Fowler. This time he cuts outside. He gets out to the left. Nobody's going to catch Fowler. He's going to be at the 20. He's at the 10, 5, touchdown South Kitsap. Chad Fowler with a 52-yard touchdown run, and just like that, South Kitsap gets back on the board.
What a nice run by Fowler. Looks for his holes, looks for his blockers, looks for his gaps, and boom, up the left side. Nobody home. Secondary was in. Fowler is out. Another 6 for South Kitsap, 13-0.
Fowler got the handoff, started up the middle, bounced back out to the left side, and there was a huge opening. A couple of CK players got caught up, and it turned into a touchdown. We're going to call that a 53-yard touchdown run by Chad Fowler, who had a big game last week against Lakes. And the extra point is good. So with 4:16 remaining in the first quarter of play, South Kitsap leads Central Kitsap 14-0. And this is what we were hoping to see from South Kitsap this week, looking to maybe take out a little frustration after the first couple of losses at the beginning of the season.
Well, this is the type of thing that a team like South Kitsap needs, a team that's obviously talented, that has lost the first couple of games by close margins, one game in overtime, and come out here tonight at home and prove themselves a true contender in their own league and in the state. South Kitsap taking advantage of possible over-anticipation, over-aggression of the linebackers in the secondary from CK there, and just getting the ball in the outside for run play, busting it off left, and just really taking it to the house. Fowler, touchdown, Wolves.
South Kitsap, Chad Fowler for South Kitsap had a huge game last week. He got a really big and important kickoff return, an 85-yarder last week that really kept South Kitsap, one of the plays that kept South Kitsap. So Quincy Lyman kicks off. The ball is going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. The receiver for the Cougars gets just past. He's going to get another about a 17, 18-yard pickup, and CK again will start in pretty good field position at their own 34.
Nice tackle on the play by number 23 for South Kitsap, Devlin Miller, stepping in on special teams and making the stop.
Sean McBride with the kickoff return. He's been averaging just over 15 yards on both of the kickoffs, so CK will have decent field position. We're going to call this the CK 33-yard line. So CK comes out in the pro set, 2 in the backfield. Slot, who goes, that's Durham, goes now to the near side. They're going to hand the ball off to That's number 22, Derek Smith. And Smith doesn't get a whole lot on the play, and it's going to be second and long. So CK sticking with the running game, gaining a few yards here, trying to establish a little bit of the ground game, and which might allow them to open up the passing game. So number 5, that's Matt Andraken comes in for the Cougars. Little substitutions going on here, and it will be second and long for CK.
Well, we'll see what type of passing game CK's got here. They've had some long down situations, and I look for them to go to the air.
Smith and Sanchez in the backfield. They're going to pitch the ball to Smith, who tries to get to the outside. He's stuffed by the defense. Nice tackle. That's number 35, Matt Mays. Matt Mays right there running with Smith. Doesn't allow him to get away. Great open field tackle for a big loss. It'll be third and long for Central Kitsap.
And for the kids that are watching at home, when you're a one-on-one situation like that in the backfield, you want to get up on your guy and get your hands on his jersey and pull him down to the ground. Keep your feet moving and drive him. Nice tackle by Mays.
Taugus just pitched the ball to Smith, who is a very fast runner, and tried to bounce to the outside, but Mays stayed with him the whole time and took him down. So CK will have a third and about 17 to go from their own 26-yard line. Taugus is going to drop back. He's got a man looking to his right. Hits the wide receiver. Great defense there by Cedric Carter. The pass was caught by Brad Durham. So just like that, though, a very short gain on the play, a gain of about 5. It's going to be fourth and 12 for Central Kitsap. So a nice defensive stop there by the Wolves.
What, does this defense look ready to play or what tonight, DB? They are all over the receivers, are all over the backs. The only person they really haven't touched so far is the quarterback, and we'll see what the rest of the game holds for that.
Staten and Carter back to receive the kick, and we're going to have a timeout, that looks like here, and it is. It's going to be a timeout called by South Kitsap. So there looks like there could have been a little mix-up on special teams play here. So South Kitsap getting on the board first with a long pass completion, about a 32-yarder from Chip Pearson to Cedric Carter. And then Chad Fowler runs in from 53 yards for the other score, and South Kitsap leads CK 14-0 with just over 2 minutes to go.
The Wolves offense doing a good job of spreading it around with one passing touchdown and one rushing touchdown, equal yardage on both ends so far. Coach Keel coming all the way out onto the field to talk to his special teams unit, making sure that we get a decent punt off here for CK.
Glenn Huey, the 5'11 junior, back to do the punting for the Cougars. Staten and Carter still back to receive. Huey on his own 20. It's going to be fielded by Carter. He runs up and the ball is fumbled, and it's going to be recovered by Central Kitsap, still spitting out here and there, but he does. It hit Carter. He wasn't able to establish the ball. He fumbled it, or I think that was David Parker back to receive. We got the numbers mixed up there just a little bit. And
that's okay.
That's quite all right. We don't have our spotter here tonight, so we're on our own, D-Rod.
So we just got to take care of it on our own. The South Kitsap receiver there just had a bounce right off him and boink right in front of him, and CK was all over it. The South Kitsap defense marching back out on the field, hoping to keep that fire alive and keep CK marching backwards instead of forward with the offense.
So South Kitsap holds CK to another series but fumbles on the punt. And CK will take over in Wolf territory. They fake the pitch, and they're going to hand the ball off to Smith. He sidesteps, ducks his head underneath, and he gets across the 30-yard line. They will mark it down at the 30, but not until Smith gains about 12 yards on the play. It's going to be 1st and 10 for CK at the South Kitsap 30-yard line.
A nice little nifty backfield handoff there from the quarterback, going left, faking left and going right. And nobody home initially for South Kitsap at first. I'm sure they'll be ready for it next time.
That's one thing that both sides do want to avoid, are those turnovers that can lead to momentum as Taugus comes under center. In the pro set, that's Sanchez and Smith. Taugus, man goes in motion. That's Sanchez. They're going to hand the ball off to Smith. He's got a little hole. He hits a man straight on, head on, but he's driven back by a pack of Wolves. His forward progress gives him an extra couple of yards. So a gain of about 7 on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 3. So the Cougars getting some momentum here in their 3rd series in the first quarter.
It's kind of funny there, DB. It looked like both runner and tackler on that play met each other head on, and both were a little bit surprised about the situation. The play just kind of stopped for a second until the pack of Wolves tacklers came over and finished off the play.
CK trying to gain some momentum here as time runs down in the first quarter. CK behind 14-0, 45 seconds left here. Coming out, they're not in any hurry. Taugus under center. There's a man offside. It looked like this time it was the defense, the offensive line, the right tackle for Central Kitsap. That's number 53, Will Morris, throws his hands in a little bit of disgust. Look, he thought that maybe he had drawn the defender offside, but it was an illegal procedure call against the offensive line. So scoot CK back 5 yards. Now we're going to have a stoppage of play.
Most of the time, regardless of whether or not the defender was at fault or not, they'll call that on the offensive line 90% of the time.
So CK with the penalty, scoot him back another 5. It's going to be 2nd and long. We'll call it 2nd and 8 for Central Kitsap. They're at the South Kitsap 28-yard line. CK looking to get on the board here, being down 14-0.
This little possession here for CK off that bounce off the kick or off the punt there could really be a game saver. Otherwise, South Kitsap gets the ball back in the first quarter and looks to score another touchdown, possibly go up 21-0. At this point, 14-0, CK scores 14-3 or 14-7.
The officials were waiting for some more time. Taugus, he's got a man, goes out to the right side. Good defense. Nice job. That's Cedric Carter there with the, he bats the ball away. Excellent defense. An incomplete pass. The pass was intended for number 11, Carl Oliver, the 5'11 senior, but Carter was right there to defend and batted the ball away. It's going to be 3rd and 8 for the Cougars.
Nice play by Carter out there in the secondary, deflecting that pass at the last second, keeping it out of the hands of Oliver.
Central Kitsap calls a timeout here with just over 31 seconds remaining. So both sides burning a timeout here. A little slow play here. CK still hasn't gotten on the board, but they're looking to do some damage here after South Kitsap got on the board with their first 2 series in possession.
I think with CK being down 14-0 and 3rd down and 8 here, Coach Keel for Central Kitsap realizing that this is possibly the play of the game for his team. Even though it's only the first quarter, he needs to make sure that his offensive unit has got everything squared away, that they know what they're doing, so they can at least get the first down, possibly lead to a score here. Otherwise, this game could get out of hand quick. Good call by Coach Keel.
CK didn't have any momentum going, but then on a punt, they kicked the ball away to the Wolves, and South turned the ball over, and CK has been trying to get a little momentum going here. So we come out from the timeout, and CK is going to have a 3rd and long from the South Kitsap. We'll call it the 29-yard line. Taugus is going to fake. He's got a man rush. He's got a man out in the flat. He catches it. Nice reception, but he's going to be just a little bit short. That was Smith on the reception. That's number 22, Smith, Derek Smith, who's also been doing the running duties. But it's going to be 4th and short, and I would imagine that CK is going to go for it. It's going to be 4th and 5 for Central Kitsap at the South Kitsap 25-yard line.
Joe Butterworth, number 8 there for the Wolves with the tackle. Nice tackle. It's 4th and 4 for the Central Kitsap Cougars after we come back after the quarter break. We'll see if they go for it. I'm thinking for Coach Keel and the Cougars, it's 4-down territory at this point.
Central Kitsap most likely will go for it here. They don't have a whole lot to lose. They've got the momentum going for them as the end of the first quarter is here. South Kitsap leads Central Kitsap 14-0, but CK getting some momentum going and trying to get some points on the board, and it would be key for the Cougars to be able to go into halftime with some points on the board.
The Cougars are going to be scrapping and clawing to get any sort of points on the board. South Kitsap looking like a battle-tested team early on in the season, which they are, and trying to keep the Wolves from really knocking the door down and slamming it shut on them here in the early going. Making it to the second quarter, only 14-0. Could have been worse, minus that punting error for the Wolves where CK gets the ball back. It's 4th and 4 here, DB. The CK running game has been partially successful. They've only gone to the air 2 or 3 times so far. What do you see here for CK?
Well, I see CK probably going with some kind of a play-action pass here, but you never know what CK's got up their sleeves. Mark Keel is an excellent football coach and does a great job with the Cougars over there. So with the ball is going to be set, we're going to place that ball at the South Kitsap 24-yard line. So the Cougars in Wolves territory near the red zone. They have 2 wide receivers, 1 man set in the slot, Sanchez and Smith. That's
Brown in
that's
motion.
Brown going in motion, and the ball is passed. That would be considered a lateral, but he's not going anywhere. Taugus faked the handoff, and he was being swarmed by the defense, and the receiver caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage. If he had fumbled that would have been a lateral. South could have picked that ball up and run it back.
I think they should have ran that ball with the hole that was there, but South had it sniffed out. I think they had the play scouted out, and they knew what was coming. The running back went off tackle right. No one was there because it looked like they knew that it was going to be a pass to the left flat, and boy, were there 2 or 3 defenders there ready or what. They smothered him, put him back for a loss. It's turnover on downs here with 9 seconds elapsed in the second quarter here at Joe Knowles Field in Port Orchard.
It almost would have been beneficial for the Cougars to have an incomplete pass, because not only did they turn the ball over on downs, but they gave the Wolves 10 more yards. So the Wolves will have the ball at their own 35-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He gets a nice block, puts his shoulder down, runs right into the linebacker. He's going to only gain about 4 yards on the play, but that was a hard-earned 4 yards.
Boy, is that kid tough. Number 41 just putting the helmet down and barreling into the defensive line there, taking a few guys from CK with him for a ride there for only 4 yards, but I have a feeling a couple of the CK linemen felt that one. Nice run from Fowler.
South Kitsap has a couple of good weapons there in the running game with Fowler and Tucker, so they will be doing the running duties as the Wolves have 3 wide receivers in. Staten in split to the far side. Carter's in the slot. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker again. He tries to barrel his way through, bounces off the defensive lineman. He's able to inch his way forward, gets near the 45-yard line. It is going to be 3rd and short for the Wolves.
Well, Tucker and the Wolves really keeping it on the ground here. I think Coach Segerson's just getting back down to basics here and keeping the game on the ground, just pummeling away at the Cougars' defensive line and linebackers, letting Tucker put his head down and barrel away. 3rd and 1 for the Wolves.
That big offensive line for the Wolves creating some openings for the running backs. Pearson's under center. The officials stopping play here, and it looks like the Wolves are going to call another timeout already early in the second quarter. So with 10:26 remaining in the first half of play, South Kitsap having to call another timeout. Maybe a little bit of confusion on the offensive end here.
Well, I think Coach Segerson and the Wolves coaching staff would rather have a couple of those timeouts, use some of those timeouts in the first half. The timeouts aren't as essential as they are in the second half when the game's on the line. So if they see some confusion out there with the offensive unit, then they'll call timeout. It is the second one of the half, but so what? They don't carry over into the second half, so use them if you need them. And with 10 and a half minutes to go, they still have one left. Who knows? They might use another one. It behooves South Kitsap to really take care of the ball here and ensure that they get this first down and try to put some more points on the board to really put CK's backs to the wall.
So South Kitsap comes out of the timeout. They will send David Parker to the far side of the field. Corey Hawkins in at fullback. Tucker is the tailback. Pearson reading the defense. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He's easily going to get the first down and gets up to midfield. So they needed 1 and they got 6, and it will be first down South Kitsap at midfield.
Boy, that offensive line for South Kitsap really working hard tonight. Everybody knew it was coming, and Tucker still just barrels his way up for 5 yards. As you said, he only needed 1. Looked really good on that play. The offensive line clearing some major holes and gaps for these running backs for South Kitsap.
South doing a nice job of ball control here in the first half, which is one of their characteristics, historically speaking, with this great program. Now they are in the power I formation. Tucker is going to Pearson fakes the handoff. He's got a man open, but he overthrows his intended receiver, Jesse Galligan, number 19, who was near the 40-yard line. Pearson, a great fake, and rolled to his left, but just a little too much on that pass and went sailing over Galligan's head. It will be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves at midfield.
There was a South Kitsap back left over in the backfield there to block for Pearson. Unfortunately for the Wolves and Pearson, there was 2 Central Kitsap defenders there right in his face. He could only block one, so Pearson had to get rid of it early.
Parker again split to the far side. The double fullbacks, power I. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He's got a little bit of room, goes straight up the middle. He will get a little bit of that back, maybe 5-6 yards. We'll call it 5 yards on the play. And he gets to the Central Kitsap 45-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 5 for the Wolves. And I would imagine that this will also be about 2 down territory for the Wolves.
Well, that's yet to be seen, but they are right back on the ground with their offensive attack here. Looks like really familiar Wolf territory. Ground and pound, keep it on the ground. Let's see what the rushing game can do. And boy, Tucker's really putting up some yards already in the second quarter.
Pearson hurrying up under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Tucker. Again, sidesteps, gets a big opening to the left side, but he's able to get the first down. He should have the first down. We'll have to wait and see where the officials spot the ball. He had a huge hole, but the defensive backs came up for the Cougars and shut that door quickly.
I don't think the punting unit is going to be coming out no matter what. I think the offense stays out there. Like you said, I think it's 4 down territory. If anything, it's 4th and inches. And there it is, 4th and 1. And I think they're going to measure.
They're going to stop play here. The officials call a timeout as they will bring the chains out to measure. And I think he's going to be just a little bit short here for this first down.
I think he's going to be about 6 inches short, and I still think the Wolves are going to go for it. I don't see them punting here. With the way the running game has been working for them this second quarter especially, I see the Wolves taking that ball and ramming it right up the middle. And CK knows it's coming. You and I know it's coming. And right now, there's nothing CK can do about it.
Pearson over by the head coach for South Kitsap, DJ Sigurdsson, getting the play call here. We've been seeing this power I formation. The center coming out, Carl Welsh, the 5'11", 239-pound senior. So the Wolves looking to sustain action here with 8:40 left in the first half. Still leading CK 14-0. So the Wolves come out in the power I formation. Matt Mays also in the backfield. Chad Fowler in at tailback, and they're going to hand the ball off to Fowler. Gets a big opening, but a penalty flag comes flying in. Fowler gets a nice gain on the play, but I believe that it will all be coming back. Just the field just being littered with yellow flags here.
Well,
but
I'll tell you what happened. There was probably, I think, a hold, which is going to be 10 yards on South Kitsap, and I think there's going to be a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct on Central Kitsap. And those penalties shouldn't offset. It should give South Kitsap an extra 5 yards on the difference in the first down.
There is a holding penalty and a personal foul against CK. So the penalties, you were right, D-Rod, the penalties should offset one another. And it should still be 4th down right where the ball is.
We'll see. The CK defender, or CK defensive lineman or linebacker there at the end of the play got a little rough there after the whistle had already blown, and normally that's a 15-yard penalty. I'm not sure why they're backing up the Wolves here, because if that's a 15-yard unsportsmanlike, it should be going the other way.
The holding penalty, they're going to scoot the Wolves back 10 yards, but I believe that the second penalty flag came in, which is should be a 15-yard personal foul against CK, and that should automatically give the Wolves a first down. So usually penalties offset one another, but this one is going to give the Wolves a first down, and it's going to be in Cougar territory at the Cougar 38.
What do you think of that math?
That's a lot of math. I was to understand that there would be no math involved, but we're really doing our job up here, especially since our spotters and our mathematicians and our statisticians and all of our other issues are gone. So the Wolves will have the power I at the CK 38. They're going to fake the handoff. Pearson rolls to his right. He's looking for a man being chased out of the pocket, and the ball's thrown just a little bit behind the intended receiver. That was the tight end again, Galligan. He was near the 35-yard line. Pearson rolled to his right, but the defensive lineman was right there. Pearson threw the ball a little bit across his body, and Galligan's momentum carried him a little bit too far forward, and the ball went sailing behind. Incomplete, and it will be second down for the Wolves. We'll call this the CK 39-yard line. This time Hawkins and Tucker, the only running backs in the eye. Pearson is going to fake he hands the ball up to Hawkins. He's got a huge opening. They weren't ready for the quick handoff. Hawkins gets into Cougar territory, but another penalty flag comes flying onto the field, and this can't be good for either side.
Yellow laundry on the deck tonight, and a lot of penalties, and both coaches, I'm sure, are going to be a little flustered, and we'll discuss that with their players at halftime. The Wolves marching back. Looks like a hold penalty. Should be 2nd and 20 for the Wolves. Maybe we'll see a little bit more number 10's arm here for a couple of long plays.
A little more dirty laundry for the Wolves here, as the Wolves, another penalty will drive them back. So a little bit back and forth here now. Just under 8 minutes. Time, not much time has rolled off, but we've had plenty of penalties here. And South Kitsap retains possession. They are still in Cougar territory. Place the ball at the Cougar, we're going to call it the 47-yard line. The Wolves send 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. That's Staten and Parker. Fowler in at tailback. Pearson rolls to his right, flushed out of the pocket. He's got Fowler at near midfield. Even if Fowler makes the catch, he slipped and dropped to his knees. So in essence, he is lucky that he dropped the ball, and the pass will be incomplete. And instead of about a 6-yard loss, the Wolves will get the ball back at their own, scoot it forward about another 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and long for the Wolves.
Fowler upset with himself for not making the catch, and his little slip right there, but Central Kitsap defenders right there ready to make the tackle. Probably would have been a loss on the play. 3rd and 19 for the Wolves. Don't think we'll be seeing any shotgun formations for the Wolves offense anytime soon, so straight snap here, and we'll see what we can do on a possible pass play.
Cedric Carter and Staten. Pearson rolls to his left. He's looking for a man, and he's got him downfield. He's going for Cedric Carter. Nice catch by Carter. He's got the ball inside the 20-yard line. Nice pass by Pearson. Threw the ball near the 50-yard line. It's going to be about a 30-yard pass reception, just under. We'll call it 28, down to about a 20-yarder, down to the Central Kitsap 18-yard line.
Pearson rolling out left, good protection with his backs and his offensive line, and just flings it down there. Nice pass from Chip Pearson, number 10, the quarterback for the Wolves. Parker there waiting, jumping high again to make the pass. Parker's just got that defensive back outmatched tonight, I think, and I presume they'll go back there again before it's all said and done.
The ball spotted at the CK 17, 2 wide receivers in for the Wolves. Pearson's going to hand the ball off to Tucker on a counter, another penalty flag. And that is most likely going to be an illegal procedure. Somebody started a little too early, so scoot the Wolves back another 5. So they'll be at the CK 22. Not good with the penalties so far here in the first half.
Lots of dirty yellow laundry all over the field tonight. It's scattered all about, and the referee's making a ton of calls against the Wolves. I don't see Coach Segerson arguing too many of them. It says to us that they're legit calls, and we can see them from up here in the booth. I'm sure they'll talk about that at halftime.
Well, Coach Sigurdsson and the other South Kitsap coaches can't be happy with the number of penalties being committed here by the Wolves, but they're still hanging in there with the ball deep in Cougar territory. Pearson under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Tucker on a counter. He goes right over the guard. He keeps his feet driving, bounces out to the right side. Nice job by Tucker. Gets back near the original line of scrimmage. It will be just a little bit short. We're going to call it 2nd and 10. He did get back to the line of scrimmage. We're going to call it 2nd and 10 for the Wolves.
Tucker doing a good job of keeping his feet, bouncing out, and getting some of those original yards back. They lost on penalty. 3rd and 10 here. The Wolves have been mixing it up nicely with the pass and the run tonight. Not sure what to expect here. Actually, according to the scoreboard, 2nd and 10.
South Kitsap with a 2nd and 10. In Cougar territory, Staten to the near side. Tucker in at tailback. Pearson's going to fake the handoff. He's got a man, and he's got a man out the flat, wide open. Nice fake by Pearson. An excellent catch by Galligan down at the 10-yard line. Gets inside down to the 6. But that was all set up by Chip Pearson, and had a great fake to the handoff left, and he held the ball right behind his back. And CK bit it, hook, line, and sinker. And Galligan was wide open, and Pearson threw a nice pass to him.
Well, it looks like Chip Pearson has really started to develop his arm and his confidence here just in the last couple weeks since the last time we had a home game here. And he's really finding a lot of receivers and really doing a good job of running this offense here tonight.
South Kitsap in the power I. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He's going to get in for the touchdown. Spins around, but it won't do him any good. So Stephen Tucker with the nice touchdown run of about 7 yards. We'll call it 6-yard touchdown run. And South Kitsap on the board once again. So 1 pass play, 2 runs. And just like that, South Kitsap putting on some points here.
Great play calling from the coaching staff and great execution by the South Kitsap players. Just mixing it up, keeping Central Kitsap back on their heels. Run, pass, run, run, run. Really, they did a great job of that last series of just punching it right through the guts of Central Kitsap's defense.
South Kitsap, that offensive line creating a huge hole for Tucker as the extra point is up and good by Lyman. So South Kitsap with 5:12 remaining in the first half leads Central Kitsap 21-0. But this is also the time, D-Rod, in which South Kitsap needs to maintain discipline and doesn't want to get cute. They don't want to become too complacent, and they really want to continue to take it to Central Kitsap.
Something tells me that the South Kitsap coaches are talking to the players on the sideline about that right now. Don't get complacent. Don't get set with this lead. It's not a huge lead. It's only 3 scores, and football teams have known to get down and bounce right back up, come out second half and come back and win games like these. So I'm sure all these coaches have seen those types of situations and are reminding their players, hey, stay focused, stay tough, and keep doing what you're doing, and good things will happen.
And usually around the 3rd or 4th week of high school football, the weather starts to take a little bit of a change, as we are seeing tonight. A beautiful evening for football here at Joe Knowles Field, but we're starting to see the weather turn a little bit cooler as Quincy Lyman will be kicking the ball from the 40-yard line. Too deep to receive for the Cougars. The ball is going to be kicked to the far left, and it will go out of bounds. So another penalty flag, and that's not going to make the coaches very happy either. And in high school football, when the kickoff goes sailing out of bounds, I believe that the offense gets the ball at their own 40-yard line.
Well, that's a tough break for the Wolves on the kickoff there, if that's the case. Lyman's done a great job for the Wolves all season with the kicking game. I think that's one of his only mishaps all season that I've seen so far. Unfortunate for the Wolves. However, the defense has been playing really well so far tonight. I think you could put CK anywhere out on the field and South's defense would be ready to go. Right now, a little bit of confusion on the spotting of the ball. I think that I see an official
that it will be placed at the 35. Excuse me, yes.
I think I saw a rule book somewhere out on the field just now, but I think people were a little bit confused.
So Central Kitsap will have the ball at their own 35-yard line, starting in very good field position. Taugus under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Smith, and he gets nowhere. Helped by the freight train, that's Renard Williams, and he gets up all psyched up and doing an excellent job there leading that defensive line. In fact, he is going to lose 5 yards on the play, so nothing doing there. And just like that, South Kitsap's defense doing a good job of preventing CK from getting any momentum here as time is winding down in the first half of play.
Well, South looked like they knew what was coming the whole way. The off tackle left. I noticed the CK offensive lineman looking for somebody to block, but all the South linemen and linebackers are already at the point of the crime and ready there to make tackles.
Taugus has a man that's number 5 for the Cougars. That's Matt Andraken, and he was out there in the right flat. The pass by Taugus hit him in a bad spot right in the hands, and he dropped the pass. And incomplete, and it's going to be 3rd and long for the Cougars.
Well, one thing I have to say about that is footsteps. Not only was there 1, defender from South Kitsap on his way to the football, but the 3 more right behind him. I think that he heard those footsteps coming, and you just don't want to have that feeling of being up in the air, vulnerable, and getting cracked in the ribs. So I think that he kind of maybe took his hands down a little too quickly.
Carl Oliver in for the Cougars again. And Draken split to the far side of the field. Brown goes in motion. Taugus, he looks to his left. He's got the man right underneath. Tries to hit. That was Caleb Brown. Tries to hit him with the little pass on the underneath pass play. But the pass is dropped, and it will be incomplete. And it will be 4th down for the Cougars. But South Kitsap right there on the coverage, and he most likely would not have gotten much on the play anyway.
Well, they went to Caleb Brown there on that play, and he's been in motion most of the night behind the line, and I would think that they'd be looking to go more to Caleb Brown. Is probably a good sign for South Kitsap's defense that they're keeping the ball out of his hands.
Huey back to kick. Fowler and Staten will receive, and it's going to be taken by Staten, who comes up to field the ball just inside the 40-yard line. Nice tackle on defense there. That was Mike Crowley for the Cougars.
Nice takedown there in the special teams. Staten took off running, and boy, he was right there ready for him. Takes him out right next to the far sideline by the CK bench.
Excellent special teams coverage there for Central Kitsap. Even though the Wolves will have good field position, not much on the return right there. So CK coming out of that series actually doing okay, as the Wolves are going to have the ball near midfield. We'll place it at the CK 47-yard, or at the South Kitsap 47-yard line. 2 wide receivers split to the far side. Pearson is going to hand the ball off to Tucker.
Surprise.
He puts his shoulder down again.
Surprise.
Looked like there may have been a fumble, but I believe the officials are going to call it that the ground caused the fumble and that he was down. So a gain of, we'll call that 6 or 7 on the play.
Fans of the game tonight may get tired of us saying Pearson hands the ball off to Tucker. That seems to be the #1 call here so far tonight. Not a bad call at that. Tucker's chewing up major yards on the turf tonight here at Joe Knowles.
And they're also going to get tired of hearing the call. Pearson hands the ball off to Fowler, as both of them will share the running duties here tonight, as Pearson's going to pitch the ball to Fowler. He tries, and he throws the fake. He's got a man wide open. He had an extra step. The pass was intended for David Parker. Fowler did a great job, put his head down and pulled up, and looked like he was going to reverse his field of direction, and had Parker about an extra step, but the pass was thrown just a little bit too much to the inside. Parker had a step on the outside. The pass was incomplete, so a little trickery there by the Wolves.
The Wolves really going for the jugular on that play before halftime.
So the CK Cougars hold the Wolves in check. It's going to be 3rd and 5, and they're going to hand the ball straight up the middle to Corey Hawkins. Keeps his feet driving. He's going to get a little bit more on the carry there, not much. Does get down to the CK 45-yard line, but it will be 4th down for the Wolves as they sent their punting unit out onto the field. So nice defense by CK.
Good defense by CK, finally able to stop this Wolves offense. Not necessarily 4-down territory unless we see a trick play here for the Wolves. With the 21-point lead, the situation doesn't seem quite as urgent at this point, so I imagine they'll punt the ball off to CK, and CK will probably run the rest of the clock off to end the half.
Looks like Joe. They're going to fake the punt. And Hawkins gets the ball as the up back, and he is going to get the ball just inside. And can you believe it? Just like that, they throw the halfback option pass, and now they fake the punt. They will get the 1st down, and that could be a huge play for the Wolves right before halftime.
We were talking about it as a possibility, but not really. I didn't think that the Wolves would go for it there. They certainly did. 4-down territory, and they get the fake punt 1st down here, winding down to the end of the first half, and they are going for the jugular.
Joe Butterworth came in and was set up as the punter, but they hiked it to the up back, Hawkins, and he gets the big 1st down. Pearson is going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He puts his head down. A couple of Cougar defenders there, though, right at the corner, but not until Tucker gets about 5 or 6 yards on the carry. And with about 2 minutes to go here at halftime, the Wolves still have 1 timeout remaining, burning 2 timeouts earlier in the contest. But still plenty of time and having the direction for clock management.
If they get a first down here, I would imagine that they would probably use that last time out to save some clock and, as you said, to precipitate that clock management.
There's a little mix-up. The ball is pitched way behind, caught by Tucker, puts his shoulder down. A big mix-up in the backfield. It looked like the ball was snapped prematurely, and nobody was expecting that. That's number 75, Tyler Breshon, who is down on the field, slow to get up for the Wolves. Looked like a little confusion in the backfield, and the play looked like it was going right. Pearson had the ball after he hiked it, but the offensive line and some of the other players were a little slow to react. So a little miscue on the count there, and Pearson was able to pitch the ball. Tucker, it was behind him. He still received the pitch, has good hands, and was able to hang on to it. And but South Kitsap did not turn the ball over. Breshon just a little slow, just a little stinger there, but he gets up off the field and walks off under his own power, which is a very good sign.
South Kitsap showing some good signs here in the first half. That's the first true miscue I think we've seen all night from them, and probably won't see too many more of those.
So South Kitsap with the ball at the CK 30-yard line. It will be 3rd and 11 for the Wolves with just under a minute and a half here in the first half. Pearson, a little mix-up on the center snap, and Pearson looked like he was pulling away just a little too quick and slapped his helmet on his head and said, okay, I better start getting this going here. So a little confusion and scoot the Wolves back. They had 3rd and short, but a couple of penalties and a miscue on offense. It's going to scoot him back to the CK 35-yard line. So South Kitsap here also trying to get on the board with some more points, still leading 21-0. Pearson looks at the D. They're going to fake the handoff. He's going to roll to his left. He's got a man open, but it goes through the hands of Corey Hawkins. The pass just a little bit high from Pearson, and Hawkins had the ball and had a little bit of room to run, but nothing doing, and it will be 4th down after the incomplete pass.
SK coaching staff not too happy with that offensive sequence there. Really unhappy with the outcome. With that fake punt, the only thing you're thinking about is points on the board before half. They got the fake punt conversion. Now it's 4th and 16 after a couple of miscues, a penalty thrown in there, and the Wolves look like they're going for it.
South Kitsap will go for it. They have a 4th and long. A little hesitation. They fake. Pearson's going to be stuffed, and he's going to be taken down right at midfield. So with just under a minute, 57 seconds here, looked like there was a little slow movement from the center snap once again.
It looked like a couple of the offensive linemen were slow to get off the line. Breshon goes out at the right guard position, I believe, and a substitute in there, possibly not quite sure of the snap count, and the defensive line really got in on there on Pearson for the sack. Turnover on downs with 57 seconds left. 1st and 10 for the Cougars right at midfield. Not a good sign for Coach Segerson and the Wolves.
So South Kitsap with the turnover on downs, and CK will have the ball right at midfield, trying to get on the board here before halftime. Taugus looks to his right, being chased out of the pocket. He get the ball away, and it's almost intercepted. It's batted around in there, tipped and batted around all over the place. And right when he threw the ball, Taugus got smashed by 3 Wolf defenders, and he is kind of knocked silly. We hope that young man is going to be okay. He took a pretty hard hit right there.
I think he got his bell rung. I think his head hit the ground when he got knocked. He had 3 Wolf defenders right in his face as he was throwing the ball. I really hope he's okay.
Taugus faked the handoff. He rolled out to his right. He had a man right there in the flat, but he was flushed out of the pocket quickly by 3 Wolf defenders, and right as he threw the ball, Taugus did a nice job of getting rid of the ball to the receiver, and the ball was batted around, almost intercepted, but not. But Taugus took a huge hit from the defenders, and he was knocked a little bit silly there. So we sure hope that he's able to get up and walk off under his own power.
I think he'll be okay. He tried to stand up there for a second on his own, and he seemed quite dizzy there and couldn't quite stand up on his own. But I'm I think that we'll see him walk off here under his own power the next minute or two.
Taugus is now sitting up on his own, and he's just taking a couple of deep breaths, so it looks like he's going to be okay, which is a very good sign. I know that the whole state has heard about the death of a tragic loss of a high school football player from North Thurston last week. And that's one thing that you always hate to see is when high school kids get hurt. And in that young man's situation, the ultimate worst, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the young man and just to North Thurston itself. So, but in games like this, you just hate to see kids get hurt.
That's true, and coaches do a great job on both sides of encouraging safe techniques for tackling and for hitting, and try to get the guys to keep their heads up instead of down to prevent any sorts of injuries that might occur with tacklers or guys being tackled. Try to get tackled the right way as well as trying to tackle the right way. So the coaches do a great job of trying to keep the boys as safe as possible when they're out on the field, so nobody gets hurt. And we just don't like seeing players down like Taugus here, the quarterback for CK. I think he'll be okay, but like you said, we just our hearts go out to the family of the football player from North Thurston.
He was not hurt. The young man from North Thurston was not, his death was not caused by playing on the football field. It was caused by external activities away from the football field. But in situations like this, you just get a little bit nervous when you see players. And Taugus is now up on his feet, and he is walking off the field, so that is a very good sign, as CK will have a new quarterback here that will come in, and that's the kind of a situation that can be kind of tough when you have a backup come in. It looks like his backup quarterback is going to be Jason Simonis, who is a 6'1" sophomore, so big shoes to fill for a sophomore coming in for the CK Cougars.
We'll see if number 17 for CK can come in here and get a ball up in the air and go for the end zone.
So Central Kitsap will have the ball still at midfield after the pass incompletion. The injury to Matt Taugus, the starting quarterback, the 6'2" senior for CK. But they will have the ball 2nd and 10 from the 50-yard line, right at midfield. 51 seconds here before halftime. So the Cougars are still going to try and get something done here as the sophomore, Simonis, comes in. Simonis under center, his first center snap tonight. They're going to hand the ball off to Sanchez, and he gets nowhere. Big hit by the defense. That's Corey Hawkins on D right there. Nice job by the Wolves.
Brought down by a teammate, and boy, he just drilled him there when he was at his weakest point, and boom, just knocked him back. 3rd and 10 for CK with 40 seconds left. If they don't watch it, South might try to call a timeout here on 4th down, try to get the ball back and go for another touchdown.
That's South Kitsap's last timeout.
They did spend it.
So South Kitsap calling the timeout here. It will be 3rd and long for the Wolves, and the Wolves might try something here on defense, maybe look for a blitz.
Those sneaky Wolves trying to pull some tricks out of their hat, and so far tonight, one of them's worked. And with 3rd and 10, who knows what kind of blitz package they'll bring. Probably everybody, especially with a new quarterback in.
A little slower tempo in tonight's game here. South Kitsap leading CK 21-0 with 40 seconds remaining in the first half. As Central Kitsap comes out, they have 3 wide receivers still in a pro set. Sanchez and Smith in the backfield. The officials spotting the ball, and we're ready to go here for play. So 3rd and long for the Cougars. They fake the handoff. They go for the pass out into the flat, but nice coverage there by Cedric Carter on the defender. The pass completed to Brad Durham. Actually, that is going to be South Kitsap's timeout. I believe the timeout before that was called by Central Kitsap. So the pass completion at the South Kitsap 45-yard line, but South burns their last timeout, and it's going to be 4th and 5 for the Cougars.
That's a nice little pass and completion for the brand new sophomore quarterback for CK there. That'll build the young man's confidence. Certainly don't like to see him come in the game for the situation we just saw with the injury to number 7 Talgas for CK, but you know, the young man is going to get some experience here tonight and going to get some snaps and nice little completion there for the new guy.
So Central Kitsap has the ball. We're going to call it 4th and 6 at the South Kitsap 46-yard line. And CK is now going to bring out their kicking unit. Staten will go back for the Wolves, as will Chad Fowler. But the Wolves have to be careful here and look for any kind of trick play that CK might have up their sleeve. South Kitsap does not have any timeouts left. So Central Kitsap looks like that they will kick the ball away, but with 30 seconds left in the game, anything could happen. So Fowler and Staten back to receive the kick. It's a good snap. The kick is up. It's an end over end. It's going to be by Staten. It's going to be fielded and taken down quickly inside the 15. Nice tackle there. That's number 12, Brian Johnson for the Cougars. He meets Staten right as he catches the punt. And the ball will be placed at the South Kitsap 14-yard line with 22 seconds left. What a great defensive play by the young Cougar.
That's a beautiful anticipation play right there, ready for the ball to come down. Didn't call for a fair catch from South Kitsap there, and he caught the ball. And boy, CK's guy was boom right there on the spot, took him down. I have a feeling that South will take a knee here and go into the locker room with a 21-0 lead.
Very good coverage by the Cougars on the defense. And the Wolves are going to come out with a couple of wide receivers. CK in a prevent defense looking for something deep. And there's going to be a penalty on the offensive line by the Wolves. So another penalty. Drive the Wolves back inside their own 10-yard line. Place the ball at the 9. So another penalty, and it will be 1st and 15 for the Wolves. And you've just got to think that the South Kitsap coaches are now starting to get a little bit irritated at all these penalty flags here.
I would say that you have made a correct statement. Maybe even an understatement.
Two big factors in any contest of most sports could be penalties and turnovers, and we've seen a lot of penalties here tonight. So the Wolves, 1st and 15. Two wide receivers to the near side of the field. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He puts his head down, doesn't have a whole lot, gets back near the original line of scrimmage, but I would imagine that the Wolves are just going to let the clock run out on this one. They're trying to hurry up the offense to get another play run here, but the Wolves are just going to let it run out. So South Kitsap is going to go into halftime with a very comfortable 21-0 lead. Not exactly the cleanest play, but nonetheless they're still ahead by 3 touchdowns.
Boy, they sure looked sharp there at the very beginning of the second half, or at the beginning of the second quarter, and put some points on the board and go into the locker room with a 21-0 lead over divisional rival Central Kitsap.
So South Kitsap with the 21-0 lead over the Central Kitsap Cougars, as we are going to go to halftime here, and for our halftime entertainment, we are going to have the infamous, the ever popular, the well-disciplined, well-coached, well-schooled South Kitsap High School Marching Band.
Directed by the one, the only, Gary Grams, and his drum majors. The Marching Machine, proudly playing here on the home game turf, every home game here throughout the fall for South Kitsap Wolves football.
So we'll see you after halftime. Welcome back. We are about ready for kickoff here in the second half of play. South Kitsap leads Central Kitsap 21-0 at Joe Knowles Field here on the campus of South Kitsap High School. And Central Kitsap will be getting the ball back. South Kitsap getting out for 3 scores, and Central Kitsap getting blanked on the offensive end, but having several opportunities but unable to cash it in. However, there is a lot of time left and a lot of football remaining here in this game.
And taking away the last about 3 or 4 minutes of that first half where South Kitsap had some miscues. Other than that, they really look like a team that has been a battle-tested team early on in this young season, where you can tell that they have had some tough teams to play, and they are up for the challenge tonight. Squib kick.
A little squib kick, and South Kitsap is going to recover the ball. Did it go 10 yards?
It went to about 13 yards.
It did, and South Kitsap is a little short kick on the kickoff here, catching Central Kitsap off guard, and they will have the ball at the CK 46-yard line. So just like that, South Kitsap getting the momentum at the start of the second half of play.
Unfortunately for Central Kitsap, I think that they're wheeling out a kitchen sink here from the South Kitsap sideline.
So South Kitsap showing some differences here on the offensive end. Play halfback options, fakes, and this one is a little squib kick, and they're going to pitch the ball off to Tucker. He gets a nice little buck, puts on a burst of speed, gets out to the outside before he's ridden out of bounds near just short of the 20-yard line. So the momentum going in the way for the South Kitsap Wolves. A huge running play, gain of about 15 yards for Tucker.
And what can Central Kitsap do at this point? 2 plays in the half. One's the kickoff. Fake squib kick. South gets the ball. Next one's a 20-yard bust off tackle left for first down 10 at about, the 26-yard line of Central Kitsap. So now they got their backs against the wall. They're down 21-0. We'll see what the defense is made of at this point.
Staten and Parker split to the far side of the field. Last-minute substitution on the field for the Cougars. They're going to run the counter. Back up the middle to Tucker. He had a huge hole closed quickly by the Cougars, but not until Tucker is able to get inside, just inside the 20-yard line of Central Kitsap. So a big hole. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 yards. We'll call it 2nd and 3 after a gain of 7 by Tucker.
Tucker just running right up the back of his lead blocker there, number 53, Dean Ada. Good job of blocking there for Mr. Ada. And a big 7-yard chunk of ground there for Tucker and the Wolves.
Chad Tester in at fullback. Pearson hands the ball off to Tucker on another delayed counter. Stutter steps a little bit, but he's able, still turns around after he's hit by a couple of Cougars. Able to fall forward near the first down marker, maybe a gain of 1. It's going to be 3rd and short for the Wolves.
About 3rd and 2 for the Wolves here, and see if they can punch it over. Good looking running play so far from the Wolves this half.
South Kitsap with a little squib kick at the start of the second half. CK not expecting it, and the Wolves recover as Hawkins comes in with Tester. They've got the power I formation. There's going to be movement from the right guard for South Kitsap, so instead of 3rd and short, it'll be 3rd and long. 3rd and 2, they're going to scoot it back. It'll be 3rd and 7. South Kitsap in that power I formation, usually in short down situations.
Well, South Kitsap looking good so far in this half. And then there you go, flag, whistled back, 3rd and 7 instead of 3rd and 2, which normally would be an easy conversion for the Wolves so far tonight. You make it a little tougher on themselves with that penalty. The Central Kitsap defensive line making all sorts of shifts and changes at the line, trying to throw the Wolves offensive line off the mark.
So another official's timeout here. 3rd and long. We're not sure why the officials have stopped play here, but
for chin straps on the helmets of the South Kitsap players.
A little equipment check here, but the Wolves still come out in the power I formation. Pearson is going to hand the ball off to Fowler, who's hit hard, caught right there in the middle. Nice defensive stop there. That's number 53, Will Morris. the 5'11", 237-pound junior. He's pretty excited about that play, and he should be. It was a nice hit and stop, as it's going to be 4th and short for the Wolves.
And it looks like they're going to go for it. The 4th down's not being played in the traditional sense this evening, where both teams are utilizing an offensive set for the 4th down instead of a punt that we would normally see.
So the Wolves going for it here, 4th and 5. Fowler is in at tailback. They're going to hand the ball off to Fowler. Stutter steps, bounces out to the outside. He is not going to get the first down. So South Kitsap unable to take advantage of a great opportunity at the start of the second half, as they got a short kick from the kickoff and a couple of big plays, but they were not able to get inside farther of Cougar territory. So Central Kitsap with a nice defensive stop, as they will take over on downs at their own 20-yard line.
A nice stop there from the Cougars, and we've got the fans riled up here tonight. Good camera work here from the camera crew here at South Kitsap High.
So Central Kitsap comes out with their first series, and they're quickly taken down. Nice grab there. That's number 78, Matthew Myler. Matt Myler comes in, and he quickly takes down the quarterback almost before he could even do anything.
Well, he was about to hand the ball off, and Myler was already in there grabbing his arm. Not even a chance to hand the ball off successfully. They eat the ball, 2nd and 15. Also, I'd like to mention, great job from the 85-plus member South Kitsap marching machine out there for halftime with a great rendition of James Bond medley theme tunes. Good job, SK Band.
Central Kitsap will, there's a loss of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 14 as they come out, and another stoppage of play here by the officials. And Central Kitsap is going to burn their first timeout of the second half. So early here in the second half of play, CK has to call timeout.
Well, number 17, the new quarterback for Central Kitsap, Jason Simonis, replacing the recently injured Matt Taugus, who was taken out of the game because of an injury earlier on. And I think he's trying to get his bearings under him right now, the new quarterback for CK, Simonis. And South Kitsap's defense looking to tee off on him, trying to get behind the line, get into the backfield early and quick, and really disrupt some offensive sets and offensive plays for CK. So far, it seems to be working, and Coach Keel decides it's time to call a timeout, talk to his kids real quick.
Simonis, the sophomore, coming in after Taugus was injured, and coming in, so trying to get the job done here. Pretty big shoes to fill for a sophomore to come in, as the Cougars break the huddle, as they send 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. They come to a set. They send a man in motion to the near side. Simonis is going to hand the ball off to Smith, and he is not getting anywhere. Tries to bounces out left, tries to cut up the middle, but gets nowhere, and they are going to have another big loss on the play. And it's going to be 3rd and forever for the Cougars. So the defensive line doing a good job for the Wolves of snuffing out these running plays.
Well, they seem to just know exactly when they're going left, and they are ready every time for that. There must be some sort of a snap count that CK uses that the coaches have scouted out, and they know it's coming. It seems like every time they go left, South Kitsap's defense is right there waiting for them.
It looked like there was a penalty on the play. I didn't see a flag, but the officials are meeting inside. They're meeting near the 10-yard line. The ball is all the way back at the Central Kitsap 9-yard line, but the officials talking about it with each other. I didn't see a flag on the field. I'm not sure what the penalty would be.
That's a surprise. Most times we've seen flags on the field tonight. Good job from the SK Band, the drummers there.
The penalty flag was thrown very close to the CK coach's sideline, and
but now we're moving.
There was a penalty. I didn't see what it was, but instead of a 2nd and forever, it's going to be 2nd and 4 yards to go for the CK. So
also our referee field microphone technicians have the night off tonight as well.
So Central Kitsap getting good, cutting a break right there. Simonis under center, He's going to drop back. He's got a man. He's flushed out of the pocket. He rolls to his left, but he's going to be taken down near the line of just past the original line of scrimmage. He's taken down quickly. Nice defensive stop there. That's number 15, Robbie Johnson for the Wolves. A few substitutions come in and out of the game for the Wolves, so CK loses about 5 yards on the play, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for Central Kitsap, and a big play here for both sides.
Well, South Kitsap has a chance to really establish themselves here defensively, which I think they've done on this drive so far from CK. CK hasn't done much driving as much as they've done trying to get the ball past the first down markers and get themselves a first down. We'll see what they can do here. Simonis is really getting chased around in that pocket back there by the SK defenders. They're getting into that line pretty quick.
So the Cougars on 3rd down. Simonis looking to his right. He's got a man in the middle. He throws a nice ball, but it's just a little bit overthrown to him. The intended receiver was number 21, Caleb Brown, but the Wolves were right there on the coverage. The pass is incomplete, and it's going to be 4th down, but a very nicely thrown ball by Simonis.
Bernard Williams is right there in on him, but Simonis did get a good pass off. Just nobody home there in the middle of the field. Unfortunately for CK, 4th and 10, they'll have to punt with 6:50 left in the 3rd quarter.
South Kitsap stopping the Cougars in their own territory. The ball at the Cougar 20-yard line. 2 men back to receive the punt. It's a good snap. The kick is going to be up, and it's going to be fielded by Staten again. He runs up, fields the ball, but he's taken down quickly. Again, nice coverage by the Cougars, and another penalty flag is thrown down on the field just in front of the Central Kitsap coaching staff. So we'll have to wait and see what the penalty is on this one again. And they are talking to the Cougars, so it looks like it might be a penalty against South Kitsap. Maybe after the kick, though. I don't think it will be a change of downs.
Boy, the CK special teams is really ready to tackle tonight. That's one of the bright spots for Central Kitsap this evening, is they're tackling on special teams on kickoffs and punts. Another huddle from the referees here to discuss what the call is. Not quite sure what the call is going to be at this point. The Wolves over on their sideline, on the near sideline, the CK Cougars there, and where the ball might be spotted in that area, ready to go out on defense. Looks like
so. Central Kitsap, South Kitsap, a penalty against them will drive the ball back to the CK 45-yard line. I believe it was after the kick, so South will retain possession. They're going to move it back quite a distance here, so past midfield, deep into South Kitsap territory. There was a hold. There's a holding penalty called against South Kitsap, so South Kitsap will have the ball at their own, we'll call it the 43-yard line. So instead of deep into Cougar territory, the Wolves get the ball just back on the inside of their midfield in their own territory. So again, another penalty against South Kitsap. They've been racking a few of those up here tonight as Hawkins and Tucker.
I'm losing track of them all, Coach.
Hawkins and Tucker are in the backfield in a pro set. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He tries to get outside of the arms of the defensive line, but nothing doing. That's number 55, Jeff Goffin, the 6'2", 247-pound senior, who does an excellent job of bringing down Tucker. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Wolves.
Boy, he really got in there on that run and just snuffed it out. These students are wild tonight, Coach. They're just out of control. That's awesome. Nice crowd here on hand tonight at Joe Knowles in Port Orchard.
The shot of the student section there having a good time here tonight at the game. South Kitsap with a 21-0 lead with 6 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter of play. Pearson is going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He gets a nice block, tries to bounce out to the side, but nothing doing. And he may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. And again, nice job there by the Cougars on defense. There is a Cougar down on the field, and his helmet came off immediately. We haven't gotten a number on that one. That's that's number 53. That's Will Morris, who's been doing a real nice job tonight on defense here. Looked like he's grabbing onto his calf, the coach grabbing onto his calf there, the trainer, and that may be just a little bit of cramping going on, which we saw in a couple of the previous games that the Wolves were participating in, both sides. It's starting to get a little bit damp, a little bit cooler, and can cause some cramping going on here. So
boy, he's really in some pain right now. He's trying to chug some water, get some instant rehydration there, and usually when you see a guy down, he doesn't ask for water, but that's one of those things where, you know, you need some extra fluids in there in your body to try to clear up that cramp. The Wolves really getting snuffed out here on the run the last couple of plays. The outside linebackers for Central Kitsap's really taking it to the Wolves runners. They are ready and tackling.
Well, Morris gets up onto his feet, and that's a good sign. He's going to walk off under his own power. Looked like he was cramping a little bit on that left calf there, but he'll be okay. Morris, a key figure on that defensive line for the Cougars, as the Wolves are going to a couple of running plays stopped at their line of scrimmage. No gain on 2 running plays, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 for the Wolves at their own 43-yard line. So CK doing a nice job here.
Well, Central Kitsap, the defense seems to have stepped up and shown up here in the second half. That's a good sign for Mark Keel and the Cougars.
The Wolves with 3 wide receivers. Cedric Carter into the game. Pearson's going to roll out to his left. He's got a couple of men. He releases the ball, and a nice pass by Pearson. The intended receiver, Sean Staten, who catches the ball inside midfield. The ball is going to be placed at the 42-yard line, but another penalty flag, and it's going to be a roughing the passer play against Central Kitsap. So nice job by Pearson sticking in there, and he knew he was going to get hit, and right when he threw the pass, and it was caught by Staten, Pearson got drilled, but the officials deemed that a late hit. So
that's number 82, Greg Goal, the 6'2", 191-pound junior, with the excessive force there. Not necessarily a late hit, just too rough with the quarterback there. Unnecessary. He'd already released the ball, and
Pearson dropped straight back and then rolled out to his left, and he squared up, and he had Staten in his sights, and the defender was coming up on him quickly, and right when Pearson threw the ball, the defender for Central Kitsap hit him and knocked him down, and kind of shook up Pearson just a little bit.
That's a tough call to make for the official, because that's kind of a bang-bang play. If you give up on a quarterback, you know, you might get out and run for a big gain, so you don't want to let him go. So tough call for the officials to make there.
Chad Fowler gets the ball, bounces out to the outside. He's got some speed. He shakes and bakes and gets out to the corner. He's trying to get into the end zone, barrels his head down, reaches out towards the goal line. He's going to be stopped just short. I think he got down to the 1.
I bet you they give it to Fowler here on the 1 for the touchdown, because he got most of those yards there.
About a 28-yard run by Chad Fowler.
Nice run.
Stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage, got to the outside. Fowler's got some good speed on him. He made a nice move on the defender, juked to the outside, put on that burst of speed, and was just a little bit short getting into the end zone.
Boy, it looked like he just was going to be undenied there, and his legs were just pumping, and he got on the outside corner and then got on another outside corner, and he was off to the races down to the 1-yard line for the Wolves.
Fowler stays in at tailback, that power I formation. They're going to hand the ball off to Fowler. He tries to move inward, sidesteps a few tacklers, and now they signal the touchdown. Touchdown South Kitsap. So Chad Fowler with the 1-yard touchdown run, and the Wolves get on the board again here in the 3rd quarter of play.
And you can see by the reaction of some of the Central Kitsap defenders that this is really hard for them to take. One of the players pounding his fists on the ground and disgust. And boy, you really got to feel for some of these high school kids that maybe not having the type of game or season that they had hoped for.
Central Kitsap did an excellent job of stopping the Wolves in their run, but on a big 3rd down play, the Wolves were able to get a big pass reception and a roughing the quarterback penalty added on to that, as the extra point kicked by Lyman is up and good. And with 4:17 remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play, South Kitsap leads Central Kitsap 28-0, and Central Kitsap is going to have to get something going here. Otherwise, this game could be out of their reach.
Well, with 4:17 left, 28-0, it's a game that South Kitsap, I'm sure they feel like they are controlling at this point, but I'm sure, as we mentioned earlier, the coaches are reminding the players, no lead is safe, play your game, be focused, be on point, and don't ever, ever let the other team back in the game. So South Kitsap will come out to kick off to Central Kitsap. It is the third quarter here in Game 3 of South Kitsap's season. Also Game 3 for Central Kitsap's season. Both teams 0-2, so both teams looking for their first win of the season. So far, South Kitsap edging closer to that mark more rapidly than Central Kitsap at this time. 28-0 off of a Tucker 1-yard run following a Tucker 28-yard run for the touchdown. Tucker with 2 touchdowns. Fowler, with 2 touchdowns so far tonight.
Brad Durham and Sean McBride will be back to receive the kick. The last time the Wolves did this, it was right at the start of the second half of play, and they got a little short kick and recovered the ball. But South Kitsap most likely kick the ball off here, as Lyman is going to kick the ball away to the far left side. It's going to be taken by number 86 for the Cougars, who gets a nice return. That's McBride, who fielded the ball near his 10-yard line on the left side of on the near side of the field, and he was able to get about a 25-yard return. So Central Kitsap's actually doing a good job of starting with good field position.
Well, I think overall with their tackling and also their returns, the CK special teams is doing an excellent job, and kudos goes out to the special teams coach and the special teams players for Central Kitsap. That's one of the lone bright spots for the Cougars tonight.
Central Kitsap coming out. Simonis still in at quarterback, taking over for the injured Taugus. Simonis is a sophomore. A little confusion in the backfield. Number 84, Casey Knowles, in there. Simonis under center, the pro set. He takes the handoff. He's going to hand off to Smith. He doesn't have much room. He tries to bounce to the outside, and he makes some room for himself. Nice run for Derek Smith. An excellent run there. Gets close to and it's going to be a first down. We're going to call it a gain of 11. So Smith didn't have anything there at the line of scrimmage. Used his quick step feet and broke to the outside, near side of the field, or the far side of the field for CK. Near side of where we're looking. I can't even say that. And he was able to get a first down.
That's a tongue twister in this booth.
I think I'll just say that he got the first down.
Good job. First down for Smith. Smith, a senior running back, 5'7", 184 pounds, getting a nice run there. He ran into his own blocker and a tackler there and bounced off and went up the sideline and got a first down. Would have had more, but forced out by the South Kitsap defense. Timeout, Central Kitsap here on the field as number 21.
That was Caleb Brown, who was set in the slot position, and he saw something that he didn't like, so they will burn another timeout. So that is Central Kitsap's second timeout here with 4 minutes to go in the third quarter of play, and that could be a big factor for the Cougars.
Well, I'm not sure if Coach Kilo is too happy with his receiver calling a timeout there. That's not something that you normally see regularly. That comes from the quarterback position. So Coach Kilo may be talking to his offense right now, trying to get him back on track. There's still a decent amount of time left in this game. It's very much a possibility that Central Kitsap could put some points up here on the board and put South Kitsap to a test. Right now, South Kitsap in firm control of the game, however, 28-0 with 4:03 left in the third quarter.
Simonis breaking the timeout here. They come out with 3 wide receivers. Brown goes in motion to the far side of the field. They're going to hand the ball off to Smith. He's got a little bit of room, not much there now. He inches his way forward, reaches the ball out at the last second, gets right at midfield.
I think Smith has got a lot of speed, and he undersold himself there, because I think if he goes outside, he's going up the sideline possibly for 6 points.
Nice run by Smith. Looked like he didn't have much. Even though he only got 2 yards on the play, it was a heck of a 2-yard run. So it's going to be 2nd and 8 for Central Kitsap. The ball placed just on their side of midfield. So Central Kitsap trying to get something going here, down 28-0 with just under 3.5 to go in the third quarter of play, as they send 2 wide receivers still in a pro set. Sanchez and Smith in the backfield. Simonis drops back. He looks to his right. He's got a man on a slant. It is caught. Nice catch. The pass was just a little bit high. The intended receiver, Brad Durham, made a real nice catch. The ball was a little high over his head. Durham got crunched, but boy, I'll tell you, that was a heck of a catch by Durham.
Boy, Corey Hawkins finished off the tackle there and just crushed Durham there into the turf. And man, what a tough catch for Durham there in the middle of the field. Close to a first down. Central Kitsap looking good on that play, looking pinpoint. We'll see what they can do here to see if they can convert into a first down.
Durham did an excellent job of catching that ball and holding on to it right as he was getting hit.
That was tough.
So it's going to be 3rd and short for CK in Wolf territory now. They're going to hand the ball off to Smith. He's met hard. Nowhere going on that defensive stop there. That's Matt Mays, and that's also number 50 for the Wolves. That's Brad Fedderson, the 6'1 junior. Nice defensive play there. Smith with those quick feet looked like he was going to bounce around and maybe inch forward, but nothing doing on defense. So nice job by the Wolves of preventing the Cougars from getting a first down.
Looks like CK is going to go with a traditional punt formation here and punt the ball. We'll see what they do. We'll see if they have any tricks up their sleeve. But yeah, what a great defensive stop there by number 50, Brad Fedderson, the junior defensive lineman, 6'2", 190.
Central Kitsap sending the punting unit out. A penalty flag is going to be thrown from the back judge.
Well, we haven't had one in about 3 or 4 minutes, so, you know, we have to have one.
I was going to say in about 3 or 4 seconds, and one did come flying out, and it's going to be a penalty against Central Kitsap.
And they will push it back 5 yards, and Central Kitsap will still punt.
4th and long for the Cougars. The ball is going to be at the 48-yard line of CK. It's a good snap. The kick is up.
No flag.
It's going to be off the side of the foot of the kicker, and it's going to should go out of bounds. It does inch its way out of bounds. And South Kitsap is going to take over after the kick. The ball is going to be placed at the South Kitsap 23-yard line. So South Kitsap will have the ball with 1:30 left here in the 3rd quarter. And I would imagine that time or clock management and ball control will be a concern here for the Wolves.
And we'll see a replacement quarterback here for the Wolves, number 11, Aaron Smothers, a senior 5'10", 195 quarterback, replacing Pearson in the backfield, taking the snaps and handing the ball up and throwing the passes.
So Smothers comes in as the quarterback, replacing Pearson, getting a series of snaps here. They're going to pitch the ball to Tucker. He's got a big opening. He gets to the outside. A little burst of speed until he's taken down. That's Casey Knowles. Nice job there, though. Huge, huge hole on the left-hand side.
I think Coach Knaus there was there about as quick as any CK tackler to get Fowler up off the field and congratulate him for that awesome run. Was that Fowler or was that Tucker, DB?
I believe that was Tucker on the carry.
Well, I'm getting mixed up with these two. They're really chewing up some turf tonight and get some major positive yardage for the SK offense. Great job from both.
Smothers still in. They send 2 wide receivers to the far side of the field. Smothers hands the ball off to Tucker. He stutter steps a little bit, puts his head down. He's not going to get much right there. Another penalty flag comes flying out.
Well, is it illegal to grab a runner by the underside of the back of his helmet and try to tackle him that way? Is that like a face mask type penalty? Because that's what happened. We'll see what they call here. I bet they call it face mask even though it wasn't a face mask. They're wondering how to call it. Well,
it's going to be a face mask penalty against Central Kitsap.
Interesting. Because that CK defender just grabbed a hold of the back of the helmet there by the collar.
And the official may have had a different angle, and they're going to tack on a 15-yard face mask penalty there, and it will carry the ball into Central Kitsap territory, put the ball at the CK 46. So that will not help CK's cause here on defense. So the Wolves get a big break here as Staten and Parker split to the far side of the field. Smothers looking over the defense. He's going to fake the handoff to Tucker, and he's right there. Nice defensive stop. That's Jeff Goff, and he did not go for it. Good sportsmanship right there. Stuffs the quarterback. The play took a little too long to develop, that infamous fake handoff by the quarterback. Smothers was going to roll out to his right, but Goffin was right there and snuffed it out.
So infamous that Goffin had it completely sniffed out and just landed right on top of number 11 Smothers. And boy, I don't want I don't want 250 pounds landing on me like that. That's a big time sack right there for Goffin and Central Kitsap.
Goffin having a nice game tonight defensively on that line. As Smothers is going to hand the ball off to Tucker. He tries to inch his way forward, doesn't get much. CK doing a nice job there at the line of scrimmage. Tucker may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be very close. Coming up short, and he is going to be down just inside midfield on the CK side, and it will be 3rd and long. He didn't get back to the original line of scrimmage. That is going to be the end of the 3rd quarter of play. South Kitsap, as they change the sides, they won't have to go very far here. And CK, though, still on defense. South Kitsap is going to have a 3rd and 13, but CK is going to have to get something going here as we start the 4th quarter of play.
Well, CK looking a little ragged here towards the end as this South Kitsap band marches forward with a stirring rendition of Mississippi Mud down there on the sideline in the bleachers. Good job, band. We can really hear them tonight. Big crowd on hand tonight here at Joe Knowles in Port Orchard. Central Kitsap looking to score here, but unfortunately for them, South Kitsap has the ball. 3rd and 13, however, and we'll see if South Kitsap can convert. If not, CK may get the ball back, get a chance to put some points on the board. So far, it's been all South Kitsap, mostly on the ground. Chip Pearson has gone to the air a couple times tonight to Parker and to Carter. Most of the carries have gone to Fowler and Tucker. And we have a new quarterback in for South Kitsap, number 11, Aaron Smothers, who's been taking the snaps for about the last 5-6 plays now and doing a good job.
So South Kitsap with a 3rd and long. Smothers, he throws the pass. He was intending to hit the man out in the flat. Parker's going to pick up the ball. He's got it. He might stay on his feet. He gets over across the 20-yard line, and I'm not sure about that play. It looked like the pass was incomplete. Smothers turned and looked to the man on the right. It looked like Smothers threw a pass that was low at the feet.
That looked like a forward pass.
Looked like a forward pass, and Mark Keel, the head coach for Central Kitsap, is going to come out, and he's going to wonder about this one.
Well, there's also a CK player down, so we've got trainers and coaches on the field and all sorts of people on the field right now. Mark Keel is really giving the referees an earful right now. From this angle, it looked like a forward pass.
This angle, it did look like a forward pass, and many of the players from both sides stopped running, and Cedric Carter picked up the ball, and he picked it up and started running with it and got all the way down to the 20-yard line for Central Kitsap.
Well, he did what coaches tell players to do in football and any other sport, is go till the whistle blows. And no whistle, and he just picked the ball up off the turf and went down to the 20-yard line, ran down to the 20-yard line with it, and Coach Keel is just beside himself there, attending to his injured player, and just can't believe that the officials would give that questionable call to the South Kitsap side of things. I think he feels like maybe he's got a couple of rotten calls tonight.
Well, I don't know if we can get the replay on that, but the ball was placed just inside midfield on CK's side. Officially, we'd label that at the 49-yard line, but the quarterback for CK, Smothers for South Kitsap, took a one-step drop and threw it out to the man in the flat, and but it was low at his feet, and it sure looked like a forward pass.
Which would be an incomplete pass.
Which would be an incomplete pass, but there was no whistle on the play, and Cedric Carter for South Kitsap picked the ball up and ran all the way down to the 20-yard line. So what looked like an incomplete pass turned out to be about a 29-yard completion from the forward pass progress. And South Kitsap's going to get a huge break here, and I don't even think Coach Keel for Central Kitsap's going to get an explanation on this one.
Well, he's pretty unhappy still at this point, and, well, officially that wasn't an incomplete pass. It was a fumble recovery for a 29-yard gain. If you're looking at it from the official standpoint, like I said, from this standpoint, it looked like a forward pass. Sometimes we have optical illusions up here in the booth. Sometimes there's fumes from steaming SK lattes coming up from the stands below. And we might miss a couple things.
there is a Cougar, a Central Kitsap Cougar, who is down on the field. That is number 86. That's Sean McBride.
And we're glad to see him.
Very slow to get up, but he is up on his feet and walking off under his own power, which is a good thing. So we're glad to see that young man is up and walking off under his own power. So he looked like he was injured on the play. May have gotten his bell rung just a little bit, but he is up and walking, which is a good sign. So South Kitsap with a huge break here. As we do have the replay here, the ball now is placed right there, just inside the 50-yard line. And I think we're going to have the replay on that last one. And they did. And no,
Whoa.
it was a backwards
Wow.
pass. And so for a minute there, we were shaded. We couldn't see, and it was picked up by Cedric Carter. And so it was a backward pass.
Boy, that, optical illusions, kids. The naked eye can be deceitful at times, and boy, that we were wrong on that. Dead wrong.
Smothers still in at quarterback, and they're going to hand the ball off to Fowler, and he's got a big hole, goes right up the middle, taken down, spun around inside, gets down to the 7-yard line.
Boom, boom, bang. Fowler up the middle. 8-yard line, 1st and goal at the 8 for the Wolves early on here in the 4th quarter. Hey, DB, do you think that backwards pass fumble for a 30-yard gain up the sideline is a set play that the coaches call?
It possibly could be, but I wasn't sure about that. Just the way that Smothers had it. If it was planned that way, it was a heck of a plan. And Smothers did a great job of throwing the ball down at the feet. But
wow,
it's hard to plan that because you're not really sure which way the ball's going to bounce. And so they hand the ball off to Hawkins. He's not going anywhere. Gets spun backwards. But not before there are penalty flags, again, that litter the field, and that's usually going to be on the side of a penalty on the offense, an illegal procedure call. So the ball was at the 7-yard line, and they're going to move it back to the CK-12.
Hey, DB, you know that fumble backwards pass play I was talking about? I was just kidding. I wasn't serious about that.
I don't know. I think that that is kind of a play that teams might be able to run. I don't know if South Kitsap would be the kind to run that play, but it would sure look good if you called it like that.
It was a nice dribble off the floor there. Maybe Smothers is a basketball player.
You couldn't have planned it any better when that ball was thrown and hit the ground like that, and Carter was right there and able to pick the ball up, but we were shielded just for a brief moment. We couldn't see, and but to the replay, they did show that the ball was a backwards pass, and so like we said, we saw players from both sides that actually stopped, and Carter was able to pick the ball up. And
we stopped. We just stopped what we were doing up here in the booth.
So usually if the players did stop, that would indicate that that was not exactly a design play.
And we thank the audio-visual technical crew here at SK High out in the truck for the instant replay.
Tucker is back in at tailback. South has the ball at the CK 12-yard line. Smothers is going to hand the ball off to Tucker on the counter. He tries to get up the middle, not very much doing there. In fact, he will gain nothing on the play. It is going to be 2nd and goal from the 12-yard line.
I'm seeing a lot of good sportsmanship on the side of both teams tonight. I just saw number 55 for CK help up a South Kitsap player on that possession just now, and that's something you don't normally see. Usually you see players from their own teams helping each other up, but even when they're losing the game, it's good to see players like that helping other guys up off the field. That's just good sportsmanship.
So South Kitsap comes out with 3 wide receivers. Carter and Staten split to the far side. Parker, the lone receiver on this near side. They're going to hand the ball off to Fowler. Puts his shoulder into it, maybe gets another yard, maybe 2, gets closer to the 10-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal. So South Kitsap trying to run some time off the clock here in the red zone of Central Kitsap as Hawkins comes back into the game here.
What do you think here, DB? Pass, right corner?
I think South Kitsap's going to stick with the running game.
You're right.
Or they might come up with a little play-action pass here. We'll see what they do. Three wide receivers in again. Fowler is in at tailback. Smothers has a man, and he's got Fowler, throws him, or he does have Fowler, throws him behind a little bit. Fowler stays on his feet, reaches out near the goal line, but he's going to be marked out of bounds at the 3.
Boy, Fowler just won't be denied those yards. He's just churning and churning. He's up that sideline. I thought he was going to be out about the 7 or 8 yard line, and he made it up to the 1. He's almost over the goal line and still extending, trying to get the ball over the goal line. They're going to mark him down out of bounds at the 3 yard line. So it's going to be 4th and goal at the 3. And is Quincy Lyman going to get a kick here, or are we going to go for it?
I think South Kitsap's going to go for it here. A few more substitutions come in. They've got the power I formation. Tucker is in at tailback. South Kitsap has the ball at the CK 3-yard line. They're going to hand the ball off to Tucker, and he puts his head down, and he gets in for the touchdown. Touchdown, South Kitsap.
Boy, that's just old school South Kitsap football. Just run it up the gut, and nothing you can do about it.
South Kitsap going for it deep in CK territory, getting the touchdown. Even if they didn't get the touchdown and had a turnover on downs, Central Kitsap would have had the ball deep in their own territory, so it was more of a we have to go for it situation.
Boy, the offensive line for South Kitsap just blowing away the competition there on that play, clearing the way for another 6 points, 34-0 with an extra point coming up.
Still a slow-moving football game pretty much throughout the night, but South Kitsap getting the job done here. And the extra point kick is up, and it is good by Quincy Lyman.
5 for 5 tonight.
So South Kitsap, with 9:20 remaining here in the game, leads Central Kitsap 35-0. And this is what we did expect from South Kitsap after a couple of very close, after two very close losses to Kentwood and Lakes here, and they are coming out and maybe taking out a little bit of frustration.
Well, I think South Kitsap is a very good team, and I think they played two very good teams as well the first 2 weeks. And just unfortunately, they've come up on the short end of those games the last 2 weeks, and I think you might be a little bit. I think you're right there, DB. I think that they're taking out some frustration and some aggression here out on CK tonight. They've been pretty rough and tumble with the Cougars here this evening and showing no mercy. And the coaching staff and the players really trying to take it to the Cougs here tonight at Joe Knowles with 9:20 left, 35-0. The Wolves in complete control of this game, and the Cougars in danger of being skunked here in Port Orchard on the road.
Tonight being the first crossover game of Narrows League play, as the kick will be taken at the 20-yard line by Central Kitsap, but not until he spun around. Nice defense there by the Wolves on the kickoff.
That's number 8, Joe Butterworth again. The senior, 5'11", 175-pound senior, making the big-time tackle on special teams there for South Kitsap. Woo! Took him down.
Butterworth making a great play on the kickoff and not letting anyone slip through his fingers. You liked that one, didn't you?
That was moderately humorous. Joe Butterworth, big-time player tonight for South Kitsap.
South Kitsap going to get some substitutions, getting some extra play in here by some of the sideline players who have suited up here tonight. As Simonis is still in at quarterback, they go with a 3 wide receiver set, a lone setback. Simonis looking to his right. He's smashed right at the middle. That's the freight train. Welcome to my track, said Renard Williams, and he takes the quarterback down for the sack.
Renard's been up in there all night. There was the other defensive line, especially after Taugus went out. It seemed like the Wolves defensive line really took it upon themselves to punch their way through that CK offensive line and try to get in the backfield of CK, the quarterback, the running backs. We've seen a good game from number 22, Derek Smith. And when Simonis isn't pressured, he's actually been doing a pretty good job back there in the pocket for the Cougars. But South Kitsap's defensive line has just been all over him tonight.
A loss of 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 16 for Central Kitsap at their own 19-yard line. Simonis pitches the ball to Smith. He tries to get to the outside. He's got a little bit of room, darts his way up. Boy, is he quick.
He is fast.
Had a big burst of speed right there. He's got good, quick feet, hangs onto that ball. He's able to cut back up, getting back a little closer to the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it a gain of 3, a gain of 4, and it's going to be 3rd and 12 for Central Kitsap at their own 22-yard line.
And once again, Central Kitsap with their backs to the wall. Coach Keel becoming all too uncomfortably familiar with this situation. South Kitsap's defense really stepping up, making it difficult for CK. They're at the 23-yard line with a 3rd and 12 situation coming up here.
Simonis under center, sends a man in motion to the near side of the field. He's going to fake the handoff. He ducks his head down, fakes the pass, still stays on his feet. He's got a man down, and he throws it up, and it's going to almost be intercepted. He threw the little floater up there as he was running to his left, a very difficult pass to make. fact, the intended receiver was Brad Durham for Central Kitsap. The pass is incomplete, and it will be 4th and long. A nice defensive stop there by the South Kitsap secondary.
Well, it looked like an interception drill there for a second with that ball floating up in the air, and a couple of South Kitsap secondary players there ready to make the interception. The CK receiver ends up playing defense on that, just trying to bat it down and keep it out of the hands of the defenders.
7:24 remaining here in the game. South up 35-0 on the Cougars, as they will be punting the ball away. Standing back at his own 10-yard line. The kick is up. It's going to be Staten will be in the vicinity, but he's not going to attempt to field the ball, and South is going to have the ball at about their own 42-yard line. So we would imagine that with a 35-0 lead, that South Kitsap is and the coaching staff are going to start getting some substitutions in here and a little bit of experience for some of these other players.
Well, as good as as the fans feel for the South Kitsap Wolves in this first eventual win of the season here in Port Orchard, we also feel just as badly for the bunch of young kids on the other sideline with Central Kitsap so far not able to put up any points on the board. And we just hope they keep playing hard out there. And it looks like these guys have been playing hard all night, and I don't expect that they'll let off here at the end of the game either.
Smothers still in at quarterback. He passes the ball to Catalano, who catches the ball in the flat near the 40-yard line. He doesn't get a whole lot on the play. I don't know if he got back to the original line of scrimmage. He may have gotten about a yard. Catalano is now in at tailback. Anthony Catalano, the 5'8" senior, at running back, as more substitutions will be coming in here for the Wolves. Number 23, Devlin Miller, splits to the far side of the field. Number 84, we're trying to get all the numbers straight here so we can get these people mentioned. They hand the ball off to Catalano. Boy, that's going to be a fun one here for the rest of the game. Anthony, a good kid. So we're sorry that we're butchering your name here, but Anthony getting the well, it's a team sport.
Anthony with a great job there.
Anthony Catalano in at tailback here.
Is that who's in there?
That's who it is. It's Anthony Catalano. I got it down now with just over 6 minutes left here. South Kitsap will have a 3rd and long near midfield. We'll call it the 46-yard line. 2 wide receivers. Smothers is going to hand the ball off to Catalano. A penalty flag comes flying in, and that's usually in the area of holding. And I believe it will be a holding penalty against South Kitsap. Central Kitsap most likely will refuse this penalty, and it is, and South Kitsap will probably be kicking the ball away here. So 3 and out for the Wolves.
Well, the Wolves have had the ball most of the night, marching up and down the field. The Central Kitsap does a good job on defense, and with the penalty here, they should be able to receive a punt. See if what the reserves can do on offense and defense for SK and CK. 5:55 left here in the 4th quarter of the game. 3rd and 7. It's going to be, 3rd and 7 for the Wolves.
A holding penalty for the Wolves, and they're going to, CK will take the penalty, and they will drive the Wolves back farther. So it will be 3rd and 15 for the Wolves at their own 37-yard line. So Central Kitsap trying to force CK back deep into their own territory.
Yeah, South Kitsap being marched back farther. Interesting that the Cougars chose to go for the yards instead of the down.
Smothers pitches the ball to Catalano. He's got an opening, and he tries to get to the outside, ducks under the tackler. Nice job by Catalano. He was taken down by Casey Knowles for CK. Good job by Catalano, gaining quite a bit back on that play, but it is going to be 4th down for the Wolves as they send their punting unit back onto the field.
And we've seen good special teams play on both sides of the ball tonight, so who knows what will happen on this one. Great tackle, great kick, great run back, those types of things we've seen tonight. Both kickers doing a good job, punters and kickers doing a good job. In fact, Lyman for South Kitsap is 5 for 5 for extra points tonight.
Glenn Huey is standing at about his 17-yard line. The kick is up, and that's Butterworth with the kick. It's going end over end, goes back up the middle, taken by Huey. He fumbles the ball. South Kitsap is going to recover inside the 15-yard line. A big mistake by the Central Kitsap football player on the reception from that punt. Should have just let it go, but he touched it, and it's going to be recovered by South.
Well, South special teams were right there waiting for that punt. On the punt coverage there, waiting for the punt returner to catch the ball so they could tackle. Turns out the ball ends up out on the deck. They just pounce on it. First and 10 Wolves at the 15. It just gets worse for the Cougars here tonight.
South Kitsap will have the ball at the CK 15-yard line with about 4.5 minutes remaining here in the game, up 35-0. In the I formation, that's Catalano in at tailback. They're going to pitch the ball to Catalano. He looks for a little opening. He cuts all the way back to the left side of the field. Then he cuts straight back up. Big hit on defense. Nice job by Catalano, though. He's close to a first down. Gets down to the CK 5-yard line.
Boy, that Catalano kid, boy, he put on a burst of speed there. Up the right, up the middle, dancing around. Gets 10 yards. And, gosh, I thought it was a first down, but they're going to mark it as 2nd and 1.
I think it's going to be less than 1, but the ball will be at the 5-yard line.
I thought he looked like he landed right on top of the line there. They spotted him short a little bit there. And Smothers will take the snap here. And we've got one split end and one flanker here for the Wolves.
Smothers under center. He's going to hand the ball off to Catalano. He puts his arm, tries to barrel his way forward, still going, and he gets into the end zone for a touchdown. Touchdown, South Kitsap.
Well, he just put his hand on the back of his blocker there on the offensive line and just rode him right into the end zone. Boom. Catalano, quick 6 for the Wolves. 41-0.
Anthony Catalano with a 5-yard touchdown run, putting the Wolves up even further here with 3:42 left in the game. Fowler and Tucker doing the majority of the running here tonight, but giving some other guys a little bit of playing time. And Anthony Catalano, the senior, coming in for the Wolves, doing a good job at running back, and he gets into the end zone for 6 points.
Who's doing the kicking here for the Wolves?
The kick, it's still Quincy Lyman, and the kick is up, and it is good. And with 3:42 left here in the game, South Kitsap leads Central Kitsap 42-0. And as we mentioned earlier, D-Rod, this is the first crossover game of the Narrows League, and this is the first game for both of them. Considered a Narrows League contest. The many schools around the state of Washington changed classifications. The Narrows League changed from a 16-team league, 8 teams on both sides, to an 11-league team. And having on the Bay Division side, Central Kitsap in the Bay Division, along with North Kitsap, Mount Tahoma, Stadium, Olympia, and Bellarmine. And on the Bridge Division side, South Kitsap, Lincoln, Gig Harbor, Wilson, and Foss. So we lost 5 teams from the old Narrows League, and some people go back and say that this is really the old Narrows League as we get the as we have the true Tacoma teams back in the mix with everyone, but instead of having everybody in one big giant league or one division, we've divided it up again here. So this is the crossover game that we are seeing tonight.
And usually we're used to CK and South Kitsap being in the same league over the last several years, but this year is different, so we're not actually in the same division, but still in the same league. So this is a crossover game.
And despite losing their first 2 games, South Kitsap, knowing that the rest of the games from here on out, minus Clover Park, are league games, which are important. As Lyman kicks the ball off, it's going to be fielded at the 17-yard line. That is Huey with the ball. He gets to the outside. He's got a little bit of room. He's getting out to midfield, gets near to the 50, barrels his head down, spun around, runs backwards, gets out at the near the 40-yard line. Nice run by Huey for Central Kitsap. About a 45-yard kickoff return, and Central Kitsap is going to have some good field position here with just under 3.5 to go in the game.
Well, South Kitsap's special teams there caught with the deer in the headlights look there for a second. Tacklers unable and seemingly unwilling to step up and make the tackle. Huey just busted up right side. Big time play. Once again, another big play from Central Kitsap's special teams.
South Kitsap surely to go on to their first Narrows League victory tonight. South Kitsap will be at home next week as they play the Lincoln Abes, and Lincoln has a very, very good football team this year, as Central Kitsap is going to burn another timeout here. But the Narrows League changed this year, as did many of the other leagues, with the change in classifications from a lot of schools. And South Kitsap will be playing Lincoln next week, so a lot of changes going on in the Narrows League this year. The change will also take place for all sports and for all of the athletics at the high schools. And South Kitsap will not play every team from the Narrows League, but they will play quite a few as they come out now from the timeout. They send a man in motion for the Cougars. A new man in at quarterback for the Cougars.
That's number 12, Brian Johnson, a 5'10 senior, in at quarterback for the Cougars.
Brian Johnson in at quarterback now, taking over for
number 17, Jason Simonis, who had a lot of good snaps there, played a good solid two and a half quarters after Taugus went out with an injury in the first half. And hats off to Simonis as a sophomore, stepping in and really doing a fine job for the Cougars and keeping the offense respectable out there on the field tonight.
Central Kitsap, there's a stoppage of play here by the officials.
And we'll resume play.
A very short gain on the play. Central Kitsap will have the ball. It will be 2nd and 9 from their own 40, we'll call it from the South Kitsap 41-yard line. The officials still waiting for, I think they might be waiting for some time to be put back up on the clock. They show 3:19 remaining. I didn't quite see. They're looking for added time to be, some additional time to be added on to the clock here. And now there they go. They were signaling for the clock to be run down. The clock is going to, the official time should be 3:10, and now they're stopping it here.
And now they're running the clock. It started at 3:10, and now we're good to go.
Johnson is going to hand the ball fake, and he's going to roll out to his left. He's going to keep it, and he's going to run. He's got a little bit of green. Oh. He puts his head down. What a hit on defense there. That's number 99 for South Kitsap. I don't see a name for that, but I'll tell you what, that was one smashing blast.
Boy, number 12, Brian Johnson, the new quarterback for CK, he just was introduced to this game in a most unfavorable fashion as he is just pounded.
Johnson faked the handoff and kept it, ran out to his left, just put his head down and was almost turned into Swiss cheese. What a play on defense there by the Wolves.
Well, a nice tough guy play from Johnson there, just like you said, to put his head down and just go for it, turn and burn up field. But boy, 99 for the Wolves, who we don't have a name for, but just laid a hit on him, and boy, he was on the deck.
Johnson had his body twisted around, and he came out of it all right. Nice defensive stop there by the Wolves. We're starting to see some smash hitting by these Wolf players who keep getting in on some substitutions here, but Johnson did a great job of recovering there. I think a lot of guys would have been carried out on a stretcher.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. That says a lot about his, he's a senior, so he's got some rapport with his team, I'm guessing, and hats off to Johnson as well for being a tough guy and stepping up and staying in there.
Short gain on the play. Central Kitsap will have a 4th and 8 from the South Kitsap 40-yard line. So unless they get a first down here, there'll be a turnover on downs. Johnson under center, 2 wide receivers split to the far side. Johnson's going to look. He's got a man open in the flat, and he throws the pass, and his pass is incomplete. The intended receiver had the pass right in his hands, but got drilled hard by the defender. And these are 3 of the hardest hits I've seen. The intended receiver was Richard Calden, had the ball right in his hands, but got the ball shaken loose after he was hit, and the Cougars are going to turn the ball over to the Wolves on downs.
And these players are just playing how they're supposed to play. It can be a violent sport at times, and guys are laying hits on each other, and you're supposed to put a hit on a guy if the ball's in question, and that's exactly what these guys are doing. South Kitsap and CK playing by the rules tonight.
South Kitsap will have the ball after the turnover on downs at their own 40-yard line. There's 1:14 left here in the game. South Kitsap leading 42-0 over Central Kitsap. This will be South Kitsap's first victory in the Narrows League.
And a long time coming.
Central Kitsap will drop to 0-3 overall, their overall record, 0-1 in the Narrows League. South is just going to take a knee. Quincy Lyman is in at quarterback.
Hey, Quincy Lyman's got a touchdown tonight. 6 points. All on extra kicks.
He does. He's got 6 points worth of extra points, and he's done a heck of a job for the Wolves kicking this year.
He has done a heck of a job. Hats off to Quincy Lyman. Lots of hats off here at the end of the game tonight. Hats off to the South Kitsap audiovisual crew here at the high school for helping us with the broadcast up here with the TV broadcast of the game tonight. Thank you to them. Thanks to the band.
Well, I think that summarizes everything here as flags go flying on the field, and I think it's going to be a delay of game against the Wolves here, but just an overall team effort by the entire Wolves coaching staff and players.
Big time. And for the Wolves, 2 weeks ago we were here, Coach, for the overtime, and well, that was a tough one to swallow. Last week, equally bitter pill to swallow, so it's good for the Wolves to come out here and show the football world that they are a legit team and that they are a contender and that they are a team that's going to be making waves, more than just waves, in the Narrows League this year.
It will be third down for South Kitsap, but it won't mean anything as the Wolves have just been taking a knee as there is 15 seconds left here in the contest, and the Wolves are just going to let the clock run out here as the coaches for both sides will start coming out on the field here. So with time expiring here in the game, South Kitsap will pick up their first victory of the season, defeating one of their arch rivals, the Central Kitsap Cougars, 42-0 here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School, as both the coaches and the players meet near midfield and go through the shaking of the hands. So we would like to thank everybody here tonight, especially the TV crew led by Mike Downham. D-Rod, thanks for joining us again here in the booth.
DB, thanks for having me, and it was fun tonight. South Kitsap 1-0 in league play. Next week with the Lincoln Abes.
South Kitsap getting the victory here, and we will see everybody next week again here at Joe Knowles Field on the campus of South Kitsap High School as South Kitsap takes on the Lincoln Abes. So for David Rodriguez, for Mike Downham, and the entire South Kitsap staff, we would like to thank you for joining us tonight here as South Kitsap defeats Central Kitsap 42-0 in the third week of high school football play. And we will see everybody next week.
Good night, everybody.